Hello, everyone. We're excited to have with us today Travis Holoway, who's the CEO, and Rodney Williams, the co-founder of SoLo Funds. They're working on an important, exciting space in this payday lending space, trying to disintermediate and create fairer, better lending opportunities for their customers. So stick around. You don't want to miss this episode.
Welcome to Your Mark on the World, bringing you another changemaker with champion of social good, Devin D. Thorpe.
This episode is made possible via the support of our sponsors, including Johnson & Johnson's Caring Crowd. Travis, Rodney, welcome to the show.
Devin, thank you so much for having us. We're excited to be here.
Well, we're thrilled to have you. We truly are. We're grateful that you would make time for us. We know you're both busy and really appreciate what you're doing. Travis, I think there is a fair reason to think that it's sometimes difficult to know whether you're helping someone in this space or hurting someone. When people really need money, they're sometimes willing to pay a lot to get it. But is that always fair? Is it always good? Tell us how you know you're on the good side of that line.
Yeah, Devin, I think the reason why we're on the good side of that line is because we're empowering individuals to create their own terms. Any other financial institution that you go to, they're going to dictate, how much you can get, how much you're going to pay for that capital, and they're going to dictate when they want it back. We're allowing these individuals to, essentially create their own terms from start to finish, which is why we know that we're doing the best thing for that user.
Rodney, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I don't think that there's a gray area by any means. I think you're doing something right or you're doing something wrong. I think when the platform allows users to dictate their own terms, allow lenders to be individuals like each other, the viewers on the show, you're talking about a marketplace that is supporting each other, and it's about empowering an entirely new ecosystem. I think that's extremely different than currently the options that are on the marketplace today.
So Travis, give us a sense of what some of the terms are that people propose for themselves and that people are willing to fund.
Yeah, we've been extremely surprised from some of the terms that have been created and that have been funded on the platform. But, at the same time, we're also not surprised because there, some other, there are ways for people to get money and send money amongst each other where they're receiving no interest and they actually don't receive their money back. So, one of those examples of terms are, a single mother living in Cleveland, Ohio, dead of winter, 2 kids, she can't afford her utility bill payment. That individual, is doing anything that she can to keep those lights on. So she comes to SoLo and places a loan into the marketplace where she needs $100. She can pay back $100 in 2 weeks. That loan gets placed into the marketplace, and then a lender it could be Devin, it could be Travis, it could be Rodney. Anyone can come in and they can see the reason why she needs that capital, and they can fund that loan directly. And that's, someone who, has probably went through a situation similar to that in the past and understands how difficult it is to have that pain point. They lend her the money, and at that point, there's a debit from that lender's bank account and credit immediately to the borrower's bank account. And on the agreed upon repayment date, there's an automatic debit from that borrower's account and credit back to the lender's account. But with that example, someone is borrowing $100 and paying back $100. You can't do that anywhere else.
That really is an amazing structure. So Rodney, maybe you can explain how this works. How does SoLo make any money if she's borrowing $100 and paying back $100?
Well, I think that where you're giving it, I think that's the risk that we're going to take. I think the risk that we're going to take is that there could be loans that don't necessarily make any money for anyone. That's not the vision. I think the vision is a marketplace where individuals can select their own terms, and lenders can then fund the things that they want to fund. Now, there are also loans on the marketplace that are lucrative for lenders, where it's a person who needs to fix their brakes and they want $200 and they're going to pay $5 to whoever gives that to them. It's a balance, right? It's a marketplace. And when you think that's how it's structured, the way SoLo has focused on how they make money is donations. And what we've seen thus far in the marketplace is that the lenders and the borrowers are supporting the platform at a strong rate.
Yeah, 2% of people on the platform are not donating on the transactions in which they conduct. There is no mandate that says an individual has to donate to SoLo in order to be on the platform. Those who donate, those who do not donate, and those who do actually donate are shown no preference. So there's no preferential treatment between someone who puts a tip on the loan, which Rodney mentioned. If someone needs $200 and they decide to tip that person $10 extra for helping them out, they have the discretion to do that. And if they want to donate to SoLo, they have the discretion to do that as well. But the terms are completely made by the individual who's requesting the capital.
Interesting. I imagine someone must have put forward some terms that didn't get funded. What are some typical examples of loans that didn't get funded? So what we've created is a one-time per transaction credit score. So we're looking at an individual's ability to make a payment on one specific date and time. Our overall thesis is that the FICO score is outdated, that the metrics that are being looked at and reviewed are no longer valid. When you look at millennials not buying homes, not buying cars, not using credit cards in the way that prior generations have, we know that traditional banking institutions are going to need alternative data in the future to make informed credit decisions. So really what we're building here is a credit score. Now, the few loans, and I will emphasize the few loans that have come into the marketplace and not been funded in a timely manner have been those with very low scores, which means is that lenders are looking at our score, and our score is being validated to say that they believe that someone with a higher score has the higher ability or more of a propensity to repay. So, it's not necessarily that the terms are bad. It's essentially people are mitigating risk using our score. Now, as you look at your experience, some people must have failed to pay on time. What happens when that happens?
Yes, so we have currently a 1% default rate that we're extremely excited about. Now, if someone does not repay, the lender is given the opportunity to either send that person to collections or to not send them to collections. The reason why we give the lender the opportunity is because what we've seen is that individuals who were, lending money in very unstructured terms, just, friend to friend or family member to family member, are now coming to this platform because there's real terms put on these loans. So, they may not want additional interest or an additional tip, quote unquote, from that person, but they do want real terms. So if you're going to pay me back next Friday, cousin, I need that money back next Friday. So there's going to be an automatic debit from your account. I don't have to reach out to you and say, hey, are we still good for tomorrow? There's real terms here. So, that's what we've been experiencing is that, people are coming to this platform because, they want structure.
Now, are all the payments being made, and Rodney, maybe you can field this one, are all the payments being made on the platform, all digitally? Does this work on your phone, on a laptop? How does it work?
Yeah, I mean, it's 100% mobile. It's all done mobile, right? You sign up, you connect your bank account, you fund loans or you request, and then the marketplace allows you to make an educated decision. But going to that point, I mean, you have lenders that are gifting dollars. You have lenders that are, helping and supporting each other. And then we have hardcore evidence that the lenders are the borrowers, right? There's an incredible story of a teacher who had essentially an extra $1,000, and he wanted to lend people in need. And he was really good at finding the right scenarios where he wanted to lend. And we call him one of our power lenders because you can see him every week doing this. Again, I think when we talk about conceptually, are we doing the right thing? I think when we see things like that, where technically he's one of those individuals that may live week to week, but he's also funding week to week. I think we're starting to see an interesting dynamic, and I'm loving how this is all going to play out.
It does sound very symbiotic, very symbiotic. It's really cool. The camaraderie, the collegiality among borrowers and lenders, because you might be a lender one week and a borrower the next.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe a borrower in, the end of the year holiday season, but come tax season, you're now a lender on the platform. You get it's bonus season, you're a lender, but back to school, there's a lot of expenses, you're now a borrower. So, we believe that individuals are one and the same. And we believe that the demographic that we're targeting is the majority of the country. It's not the minority of the country. With fluctuating incomes, there's these gaps created where people need access to small dollar capital. And we're there to ease those pain points.
So the money comes, as you pointed out, peer-to-peer. How much money have you placed on the platform now?
So we have processed. So we launched April. So I wanted to kind of talk about how long. So we placed $100,000 in loans in the last month, 2.5 months on the platform, all on iOS. We just recently launched our Android platform. So that's with little marketing. We're really about to uptake marketing now that we know our user demographics, and we expect to scale tremendously beginning next month.
Yeah, I mean, it's growing 40% week over week,
Wow.
and it's doing it in the right way. I mean, if you look at the app rating, it's over 4 stars. People are loving it. They're giving back feedback, right? We're saving people's week-to-week lives. You know what I mean? And we were shocked. I mean, I'm still a little bit shocked because I remember the first 2 hours it placed in the App Store. It was an employee out of San Francisco who works for a very top tech company. That was the very first borrower, and she just had a rough moment. Yeah. And she was funded within an hour, and I was just like, who funded her? Who knows about this? Why are they trusting this?
Yeah.
But it's because it just makes sense, right?
Yeah, yeah. So one of the opportunities in front of you, Travis, must be the opportunity to license your new credit scoring technology. How do you see that developing?
Yeah, I think, the more users that we have, the more data we're going to have. And, that data becomes very valuable to traditional financial institutions. I think it becomes valuable to the bureaus because, that score that you're depending on to make informed decisions at a car dealership, you're going to use that FICO score. And if that FICO score is using these outdated metrics, then how valid is that FICO score truly? So I think there's going to be tremendous opportunities for us in the future to, onboard or be a lead generator to, it could be a financial institution, it could be a car dealership, it could be a lot of different, institutions that we can provide this data to in order to help them make more informed decisions, and also to be a trusted bridge. Because a lot of the problems that we've seen in the past in regards to financial institutions is that they don't have the trust of the people. They've lost that trust. So if we can be that stepping stone to bridge that gap, we believe that that sets us up for a very promising future.
Now, Rodney, you're a co-founder. You continue to advise Travis, but you're the CEO of another company. Just tell us for a minute here about your gig.
This all started when we went home, and when you're a part of a family in need, right? You go home and everyone wants to borrow. And I remember coming back to Trav, and I was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna get this money back. Every time I go home, it's a constant rebuttal of it just creates a strain with friends and family. And I was like, I wish there was a system that people could just post a loan and someone would just give it to them. Let's just make it smart. Let's make it easy. And, that was almost 3 years ago. And Travis went ahead and led this to where it is today. And the company is growing. The way I look at this, and I'm here today as a co-founder and advisor, I'm also a co-founder of another company. I sit on boards. I mean, when you look at me and how I'm helping Trav, my other companies have raised a significant amount of capital. we continue to grow in industries. And I'm hoping that I have significant expectations for Travis to do the same thing. I think when we first started this, we didn't know that this was going to be what I would call a high growth tech company. This could have easily been a nonprofit, right? And we were kind of thinking about it from that angle. I think what happened is that it's actually going to be an extremely profitable business, but not just for SoLo, for all of the lenders that are on our platform who are also borrowers. And that's a completely different process and ecosystem. And I think it's an ambitious goal. And I mean, for me, this is not about, doing something that is going to be another big thing. This is about helping Travis save people's lives. And what makes me smile is when I go and when I look at a review, or when someone needs, when we see people that we know in need on the platform, that's actually it's empowering, and it makes me feel like Travis is doing the right thing.
That is very cool. Very, very cool. Well, Travis, you could be doing anything. You're a super bright guy. Why did you choose to do this?
So, my background is in finance, and I worked at probably the largest financial planning firm, or most reputable financial planning firm in the country. And I noticed at my time there that there's a major disconnect between the haves and the have-nots. And what really gave me the drive to start this company, coming from a minority family, or African-American family, growing up in neighborhoods and being in environments where I see payday lenders and title lenders littering these neighborhoods and taking advantage of people, and realizing that, there were times where I would go to a friend's house and those lights were, and their electric was cut off. So seeing these things growing up, and then coming to this world where, the client that we wanted to acquire had an annual income of $500,000 or more. Like, that's the person that we really wanted to meet with. And seeing that, when I said I wanted to start this company for loans under $1,000, and to have even my coworkers that I respected say, why would anyone ever need a loan of $100? Like, what would $100 do for that person? Not understanding that was the difference between lights on and lights off. Understanding that $50 is the difference between a Metro card or gas in the car, making it to work and not getting fired. That disconnect for me was so powerful that I said, if someone's going to solve this problem, it needs to be someone who has experienced it before and understands it. So, that gave me the motivation to say, I'm the one who's going to go take on this fight and try to figure this out.
Fantastic. Well, let me just ask you each one question. Rodney, what is your superpower?
My superpower. I think that I really am just relentless. And I'm gonna go get spent every single day. And if you gotta understand, when you think about my story, right? I'm from Baltimore. 4 degrees by 24. I went to work at Procter & Gamble. I worked at the government. I've raised a significant amount of money out of Cincinnati, Ohio. I live and breathe a world where it is not circumstantial for me to succeed. Now, I love it, right? But it's what fuels me. It's what gets me up every day. And my superpower is that. Like, defying odds is something that I've done since the beginning. And I think what you're seeing in front of you today is an example of, if we can defy odds, there's things that we uniquely know, then that can be transferred into technology and could be positioned. And if we were to do a stat for stat, we would arguably say that this is probably one of the fastest growing fintech companies in the world at 40% week over week. And it's only because we're just doing the right thing.
That is really cool. Well, Travis, what's your superpower?
Unfortunately, I think mine's pretty similar to Rodney, which is why I think we're close friends. I have been friends for so long, but I don't internalize the word no. Ever since I came into this world, I've heard, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. No one that looks like you can build a company that looks like this and succeed doing it. No one, coming from where you come from, your friends didn't have electricity in their houses. How can you be a financial advisor in New York City? You know, no, 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 no. And I would hear that no, and I would never internalize it. And I would say, watch me do it. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's, you know, we have doubters in this company as well. And I look forward to the day when I can come back and smile and say, you know, I didn't hear your no either.
Fantastic. Well, thank you both for taking the time to be with me today. I know you're busy. Before you go, Travis, maybe you could take just 1 minute, tell us how people can learn more about SoLo Fund and how people can connect with you guys on social media.
Definitely. So, you know, I would encourage everyone to visit the App Store or the Google Play Store and download the application SoLo Funds, SOLO, new word, FUNDS. Search in the Google Play or App Store. Also visit our website at www.solofunds.com. All of my social media handles are the same. It's just my full name, Travis Holoway. Holoway with 1 L. So that's Travis and then HOLOWAY. And then Rodney.
I would say join the revolution. I promise you it's addictive. The moment you help someone and actually make something for it, I cannot tell you what it feels like to connect with the marketplace. So I really encourage that. Please go to SoLo. I'm Rodney B. Williams, pretty much every handle, but thank you.
Excellent. Well, thanks, guys. We really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today, and we wish you every success in your great endeavor.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
All righty. Let's do some good.
At Caring Crowd, we believe everyone has the power to make a difference. Through our crowdfunding platform for community health, we empower passionate people to drive real change. Whether you work for a nonprofit organization, volunteer, or want to get involved for the first time, you can post a campaign on Caring Crowd. Join us, because caring is where change begins.
Thank you for listening. This podcast is available at youtube.com/Devin Thorpe. Subscribe to this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes by searching for Your Mark on the World. Every weekday, Devin hosts a CEO, celebrity, entrepreneur, or other changemaker here on the Your Mark on the World show to inspire and prepare you to make your mark. Devin is a champion of social good, writing about, advocating for, and advising people who are doing good. He is a Forbes contributor who is a recognized thought leader in social entrepreneurship, impact investing, and crowdfunding. To book Devin as a speaker, visit devinthorpe.com.